I can try and do something about that, but it should be up there.
So I just wanted to let you guys know it's recording. So we're recording this. So if anyone can't join tomorrow, who wasn't on today, we'll be able to send it to them. So
sweet. So the lady just spoke. Tammy, do you want to say hi? Introduce yourself quickly.
Yeah. Thanks for joining, everyone. I'm Tammy Ellis. I'm the one sending you all the emails. I'm the director of special events here at Wheeler Mission, and we really appreciate you guys. This is our second largest fundraiser of the entire year in size and in dollars raised. So thank you so much. Real quick, I just wanted to touch on a couple things. Hopefully you saw the email that came out Tuesday. Invite your friends and family. We have some vendors and sponsors coming. Kids Strong, if you're familiar with them, they're coming this year and going to do some stuff with kids like tire flips. I assume they'll be small tires and little relays. We've got Java House there. They're going to provide a free cup of coffee for all participants. That'll be in your goodie bags. Chick-fil-A and a couple others, Herculean, and there's a soul food truck that's going to be there for lunchtime. And lots of different. MyoFit will be back for their soft tissue therapy for participants and first aid. So yeah, invite your friends and family to come. I wanted to touch on the Spirit Award real quick. We're doing that differently, thankfully. It's a lot of pressure you guys are really great at your team spirit and dressing up and stuff. So we are going to let you vote. Every team, volunteers, your friends and family who come, everybody, there'll be a QR code for you to scan and you can vote for your top 3 favorites. And that's the way we're going to decide this year. So get all that stuff ready for next weekend. And then just lastly, we just wanted to, I know we've had tents on the track a couple years ago, but y'all are going to be running some this year. So when you come to set up your tents and your space, we just ask that you stay off the track. So that's all I got, and I'm just going to hang out in case anybody has any questions for me, which I'm sure most of them will be for Andy. So back to you, Andy.
Thank you. All right. So outline of the meeting, we'll keep it as long or short as it needs to be. But the aim of the meeting is for the captains and judges on this call, and anyone else that's on this call, to be honest, hopefully you're going to walk away having a thorough understanding of the day. I'll show you the schedule in a minute as well. And all the workouts, more importantly, you've got the flow of the workouts. I've been receiving a lot of questions, hence what prompted me to send a slide deck out, which Tammy sent out on my behalf, which detailed the flow, the standards, and all that sort of stuff. So we're going to use that slide deck, go through that, and I will answer any questions as we go through. So I'll do workout by workout, take any questions, and then if you get any questions at the end, I'll also take any in general, and then I'll point out if you have any issues on the day, who you should speak to, and all that good stuff. So let's get started. So this is the schedule. You will notice this year we're doing something slightly different. We've removed the championship workout. We listened to some of the feedback from last year. It's a long day with some of the feedback. The championship workout went from 0 to hero pretty damn quick, and those that were in the championship workout last year will appreciate what I mean by that. The standard of the workout went from relatively straightforward to pretty difficult. So we're trying to change it around this year. Also, in terms of prizes, we decided rather than do basically award prizes for the winner of each workout, we decided the top 7 teams will get prizes. That way, our hope, so as a gym and as Wheeler Mission, our hope is a lot more people will get these prizes, a lot more gyms, everyone will feel accomplished. Who does not like getting a prize? So that's the thinking behind it. Again, if we get feedback on the validation forms or the feedback forms saying you didn't like it, we can always revisit it. So this is an ever evolving event. We listen to what you say, we really do. So please, when you get the validation forms or feedback forms, sorry, from Wheeler Mission, please answer them. I'm going to sit down with Kayla at some point and we're going to go through those validation forms and try and get some more pointed questions so we can get your feedback. And for next year, we make it bigger and better again. So we're always, that's my aim, try and make this bigger and better for you guys all the time, along with Tammy and her team. So I'm not going to go through that in detail whatsoever, that schedule, but that will be pushed out to you if it hasn't already been gone out to you. But the most important things for you, your check-in from an athlete perspective, it starts at 7:30, and we're looking at everyone being checked in by 8:15, please. Judges, at 8 a.m., you will meet myself and my 2 head judges. You'll meet us all at the main reception tent. That's where Wheeler Mission will be. It's a huge tent. It's in the end zone where the weightlifting is not. All right, so you won't miss it. You meet me at 8 a.m. there. We're going to go through workout 1, workout 2 in great detail with you, and you will be assigned to those 2 workouts for the whole of that morning. And the day is split. We have very much a distinct morning part of it, and then a distinct afternoon. Judges, who helped last year, I know we struggled to get some time to get some lunch. We have factored in a break this year, so you will be able to get some time off and get some lunch. All right, last year was a bit of a beast. Also, Floater 1, sorry, not Floater 1, Floater. That will open up at 9 a.m. You will receive, by end of day tomorrow, you will receive a link to a sign-in sheet. There'll be 30-minute intervals, and you are responsible for signing in. I see that question. I'll get you in a second, Angie. I see that question. You'll be responsible for signing up your team for your slot. If you're not there, you will join the back of the line, and we'll get you through at the end of the day. But I'll need everyone to sign up. We're going to have 2 teams going at any one time, so you can be racing against each other to make it kind of more fun. Let me just see that question quickly. Athlete check-in, 7:30 to 8:15. That's just the athlete check-in, Angie. And judges will check in at 8 a.m., please, down at the Big Ten.
I'm going to correct you there. Judges are part of your team. So if everybody could, let me rephrase. One person needs to check in the whole team. So every single person does not have to go to the big tent to check in. So just one person, team captain, whoever's there first, however you want to do it. And you'll receive your box of goodie bags and some instructions. But like Andy said, judges meeting, y'all need to be there in time to get to the meeting by 8. So hopefully that was more clear for you.
Thank you, Tammy. I'm just building on the judges. Judges, you will not be judging your own team. If at any point, your own gym, sorry, not team. If at any point you see your gym or people from your gym come into your lane or the part you are judging, please let the head judge know. We'll move you into a different lane. That's just so we don't get any people questioning your integrity. Not that I would ever question it. Okay, just so if you do see that, we'll try our best to avoid that. So we're going to have workout 1 and workout 2. They're going to be run simultaneously. I'll go through the workouts in a second. Each workout is, I think it's 15 minutes in duration, top of my head. And then we've allowed some time to transition and for us to reset up. So all the times are up there for you on there. Pretty straightforward. So all morning we'll be doing workout 1, workout 2, and the floater if you were signed up for that time. Then in the afternoon, we've got the beast of a workout. I'll give a shout out to M4G and Tristan. Him and I collaborated on this workout. Logistically, this is going to be a pain in my backside, to be honest, because there's a lot of moving parts, but I think it's going to be an amazing event. It's going to be an amazing workout. You'll notice it's a very, very quick turnaround on that. You get 6 minutes to transition between part A, part B, and part C. So 6 minutes from part A to part B. And then once you've done the workout, part B that is, you have 6 minutes to transition from part B to part C. And that will be up to you to transition and make sure you're in space, in the right place at the right time. We will be going with this schedule. All right. So if you were not there, we're starting without you. Okay. So that is up to you to be there. My judges, my head judges, I'll be on the mic as well. We'll be corralling you as best we can. But unfortunately, there's a lot of people to corral. So please ensure you are there yourselves. And the heats will be released when, is it Friday, Tammy? The heats?
Yes, next week. Let's do it on Thursday. So Friday's fine because everybody needs to be there anyway. So yeah, we'll do it Friday at 9 a.m. We'll look at the fundraising. Top fundraising team will be in heat 3. an advantage to watch everybody else, etc. So by 9 a.m. Friday, that's what we'll take, and we'll send the heats out after that.
All right, moving on. All right, here we go. Let's get to the meat of it. The changes, like I alluded to earlier on, no championship workout. Top 7 teams will place and be awarded prizes, respectively, of your position. 2 workouts simultaneously in the morning. The afternoon is essentially 3 workouts, all part of one big workout, that is. Floater, the sign up will go out for you. So once you see your heats and all that sort of stuff, you can sign up for the floater. There is multiple opportunities to score. It's not complex, but it allows people to play to their strengths this year, I believe. So if you've got some really fast runners, female fast runners, for example, they're going to score separately to males on one of the parts, so on and so forth. So I believe each team can definitely play to their strengths this year. And the Spirit Award, like Tammy alluded to, you will be voted for by the athletes. All right, moving on. All right, so workout 1 called Run and Snatch. It is a 3-minute AMRAP. You will do 5 rounds. A pair will go every 3 minutes. There is no transition between pairs. So as one pair is finishing that 3-minute clock, it'll be 3, 2, 1, stop. And on that stop, they're going exactly the same time as the other pair stops. So a male and female, excuse me, and you will be set off from different positions on the track just to make sure that it's fair. And it'll be aligned to where you are positioned on the weightlifting part. Okay, so there's no benefit. There'll be no benefit for being far left, far right, or whatever the case may be. So there'll be codes set up for you guys to ensure that it is fair. So on 3, 2, 1, go. Male, female, you will do a 400-meter run, and in the remaining time, you will do as many snatches. These can be power or squat, no hangs, at your chosen weight. So ladies, they can choose from any of those 5 weights. Males can choose from any of those 5 weights. And each weight does not have to be lifted. I'm not expecting 95 right through to 185 to be lifted by the males, and same for the ladies. I'm not expecting that. You choose the weight you want to choose, and then it's the amount of reps times weight will be your score. Men and women's score, sorry, men, all their weights be added together. Ladies, all their scores be added together, and it'll be 2 separate scores, males and females. Any questions right this second on that one? All right, standards. For the snatch, obviously it comes, not obviously, but it comes from the floor.
Andy,
yeah.
I'm sorry. Kevin had a question. Says teams change weights.
Yeah, Kevin. Is that Kevin? Yeah, thank you. Yeah, teams are expected to change the weight. Yes, Kevin. So snatches, we're looking at it come from the floor each time. Both sides of the barbell need to be touch the floor when we come down out of the reps. If you choose to touch and go, we're looking at that full extension at the top and of the arms, the shoulders, exactly as it says there, and we're looking at full extension with the hips and knees, and that's what we're looking for each time. Weight must be declared and checked prior to any lifting. This will be done concurrently. So, and it goes on to sort of Kevin's point. So as the athletes are running, that's when the team is changing the weights. So athletes, the team can just tell the judge, hey, this guy's going to, or this lady's going to be lifting 95, 65, whatever the case may be. And then the judge will double check that weight is on the bar. Snatch, the whole lift must be completed prior to that 3-minute clock running out. I know the open standards, I think it was last year or the year before, was if the bar is off the ground before the clock runs out, that rep would count. In this case, it does not. All right, so you must complete that rep you must complete that rep before the clock runs out for that to count. Okay, hopefully everyone's pretty clear on that. All right, any questions on workout 1 just before I flick on to workout 2? Mike, I'm going to go off you. You're shaking your head. You're the only person on camera, so I'm going to go off you. Mike said no, so there's no questions. All right. So workout 2, this is grid style. So those that watch the Grid League, that was the thinking behind this workout. You have a specialist in your team or a pair of specialists in this case, and they will stick on that stay on that particular station, particular exercise, the whole duration. So this will be working widthways across the track. You will start off on the sideline, and you'll be working your way towards the stands. On 3, 2, 1, go. A male, female will run forward, and they will do 20 wall balls over the yoke. Everybody's going to be using a 20-pound ball. All right, there's no 14-pound ball being involved. And it's each time the ball passes over the yoke, that counts as a rep. We're looking at hips below parallel and all that good stuff. If the ball hits, I'll talk about stands in a minute. If the ball hits the top of the yoke, it becomes a no rep. All right, it must clear the rope. The rope? What am I saying rope? The yoke. Must clear the yoke. So once they've completed their reps, they're then going to go back and then they'll tag, physically touch. That can be a tap on the shoulder, high five, low five, whatever the case may be. And then the next pair will run out. They'll do their 20 sandbag box step overs, 80-pound sandbag for gentlemen over a 24-inch box, 40-pound sandbag for ladies over a 20-inch box. And it has to be 10 each. If the lady's faster than the guy, she cannot do 12 and the guy does 8. It has to be 10 each. All right. Then they'll run back. And both, so the male and the female have to be back before the next pair are released. All right. So they'll run back, tag the next two. Next two will then go, and they'll go on the bike and the ski. So it's a 20 cal split. Males, this is the only time it will change in terms of the rep scheme. Males can do 12 calories on that ski or bike. Ladies can do 8 calories on that ski or bike. And these can switch. These two athletes can switch between those two machines. Are the athletes working at the same time? Yes, male and female, one on the bike, one on the ski. Hopefully that answers your question, Rebecca. If athlete hits the yoke with a wall ball, does that athlete need to repeat the rep before their partner can throw it back? No, they'll just that person who hits it, they will just end up doing one extra rep as a team. They don't need to pass the ball back. Hopefully that clarifies that one. That's Kevin. Yes, running back, you do have to wait for your partner. Well, you don't have to. You can technically run back, but the next two can't be released until both partners are back. Hopefully that answers that question, Angie. Thank you. How tall is the yoke? Good question. It's on its tallest setting. I will get back to you on that. I don't have the exact height of that. I will get back to you. I will make sure the slide deck is updated with the height tomorrow. Okay, that's Rebecca. I'll get back to you. Quick CrossFit. So once male, females have come back from the ski and bike, again, they'll run back all the way to their team. And when I say run back, this is not a far distance. They're not running extreme amounts of distance. I mean, you're looking at maybe 50 meters for the furthest people away. All right, so it's not really that far. The next two will go out. It'll be 20 single arm dumbbell thrusters, a 50-pound dumbbell for a male, a 35-pound dumbbell for a female. Again, this is 10 each. We'll go through the standards in a second. And then they'll run back. Then we got station 5, which is the 10-yard handstand walk. And this can be PVC pipe assisted. The reason behind that is we didn't want people getting caught up on the handstand walk. So if someone fails or a pair start to fail the handstand walk, that would almost be it for the team. So that's why we put the PVC pipe in there. Plus, if you've got some people who want to do handstand walks, maybe not as good as some of the others, then the PVC pipe can then come into play just to help them get over the line, so to speak. Angie, so are you talking about the handstand walks here? What counts as an attempt?
Yes.
Okay.
How valiant of an effort do they have to make?
I'll go through that in a second, if that's okay.
Thanks.
No problem. All right, so the flow, I just went through the flow essentially. Just a couple of things to highlight here. Athletes cannot change stations. So the person that is, the pair that are doing the sandbag step overs, because I'd use that because that's probably going to be the hardest part of it. Those two that are doing those, they cannot, because they're tired, they cannot go onto the bike, or they can't go onto an easier movement, let's say. All right, they must stay on that same station. The only pair, and that's within the pair, that can switch is the bike and the ski. And they can just switch between themselves. They can't switch out of that pair. Hopefully that answers. I know I had a couple of questions about that. All right. Score for this will be rounds plus reps. All right. Oh, sorry, my bad. All right, let's hit to, that's pretty straightforward on the standards there. I want to skip straight through to the handstand bit because that was, I've had more questions about that than any others, to be honest. All right. Unlike the Open this year, what we're going to this year, unlike the Open and various other competitions, we're not going to make people go back to like, sorry? Let's pass. Unlike previous like handstand walk competitions, we're not going to be making people go back to the start of a 5-foot box. All right, so wherever you fall down, the judge will direct you where you go up. You're going to go up essentially where that person fell down, or the same person go back up, and the judge will point to an area on the ground where you go up. Okay, and again, this is the whole idea of this workout. It's grid style. It's supposed to be quick. It's frantic. You will not stood still for any longer than 90 seconds once you've completed it. So that's the thinking behind this, is to try and make it as frantic as we possibly can. Also try and keep it fair. And going to what constitutes an effort. I think it was Andrew. Yes, Andrew said that that person must walk at least 2 steps, even if they're falling when they're walking 2 steps. That would be my sort of guidance to the judges. I think we all, if someone's just going up and falling over, then we all know that what's a valiant effort and what it's not. And I think it will be down to the judges. It's the only thing I don't like about this. It will be down to the judges to decide what they believe is a valiant effort. Someone just picking their legs up and then just quitting is not a valiant effort, in my opinion. Someone trying to handstand walk is a valiant effort. All right, even if that means they don't do anything. But I would say a guide, let's try and have 1 or 2 steps, or an attempt at 1 or 2 steps. Athletes, so if you've got athletes do not have to go each round. So for example, if I'm going and Mike's going, I don't have to complete a round and then Mike goes the next one. All right. We can split however we want. All right. But what I do expect to see is what I put it here. I do expect to see an athlete attempting every other round to get in there, every other round. Okay. That's what I expect. I don't want the same person doing handstand walks for, let's just say, 7 rounds, because that person who is not doing nothing would not feel accomplished, would not feel like they've contributed. So that's what I'm trying to avoid with this. Hopefully that makes sense.
I came off mute just because I thought it'd be easier to say this.
Yeah.
So you're saying that a person could technically not work 1 round at all, but they have to work every other round at a minimum.
Yes. Exactly.
Okay.
And Angie, just to clarify, when I say work, I'm not expecting them to complete 10 yards, because you might have some people who are weak at handstand walks who may not be able to complete 10 yards. And the word work will be very loosely defined, to be honest.
Thank you.
I think if we take it for the spirit of what it is, this is a team event. We want everybody to feel accomplished, want everybody to take part. Ultimately, it'll be down to a lot of the integrity of the teams. Yes, that is. They don't make. Is that Renee? Renee, they don't need to make an attempt every round. So, for example, round 1, I can if I'm a really good handstand walker, and we know that's one of my strengths. Round 1, for example, I'll do a whole 10 yards on my own. All right. And then Mike, I'll use Mike, he's on camera. Mike isn't going to do any on that one because he's not that good at handstand walking, let's say. And then the second round, Mike's going to attempt. He's going to give his all. He's going to try and give me at least 5 yards, and then I'll complete it where he falls down. So I'm going to play to my strengths, and I'm also letting Mike have a really good crack at contributing towards the team's effort. So hopefully Renee, does that answer your question? Okay, yes. All right. So I know this is going to be a little bit ambiguous. I get it on the day. I totally accept that. But we wanted to put some high-skilled movements in there, and we also wanted to give everyone a fair crack at these high-skilled movements. So that's the thinking behind this. Sorry, let me just go back to the bottom point. So dumbbells, if you do drop a dumbbell, I'll answer you in a second, Stephen. If you do drop a dumbbell And I'm talking, you mean if you deliberately on the, I know, thruster, if you're doing that thruster and you drop it from this position here, that is a drop. That's, you mean, there's no bones about it. That is a drop. If you end up dropping it just from sort of knee height, I don't expect you to do that. But if it just falls out your hand at knee height on the way down, and it only happens once, that will not constitute a drop. All right. The reason for the no dropping, and those that did the competition last year, we're in the middle of a football field. All right. We can't damage that field, otherwise they'll stop us using it. All right. So we've got to be putting the dumbbells down. And I don't know many gyms that allow you to drop dumbbells anyway. So please have the dumbbells down. I don't expect you to place them down nice and gently. I mean, let's put them down maybe an inch off the ground and lower them. It's all about control is the key thing there, I suppose. And then if we do decide, or the judge does decide you dropped it, and a drop is a deliberate thing. If it's an accidental, you lose grip, then hey, it is what it is. But if we do decide you drop it, the judge will award you a 30-second time penalty, and that will be you will stand still or your team will be stopped going forward for 30 seconds. That's how that penalty will be applied. Let me go back to Stephen's question quickly. If one athlete is going to do all the 10 yards, do both athletes still need to run out? Yes, they do, Stephen. The thinking behind that is if that one athlete who believes they can do 10 yards do not manage to do 10 yards, and then their shoulders are shot, especially towards like minute 13, minute 14, the other athlete can then jump straight in and help that person out. Or alternatively, they can grab the PVC pipe and help that person out. Rebecca, for the box step overs and dumbbell thrusters, are the male and females both working at the same time? That's it. Yes, they are. They are, Rebecca. So on every single station, you're going to have people working simultaneously, with the exception of the handstand walks. Any other questions? Guys are letting me off way too easy today. All right. So the way I'll do this, oh, here we go. I got one from Kevin. Is the handstand partner athlete the one to assist? Yes, that would be the one to assist. That's why we'll have the two athletes there, Kevin. So that question, hopefully you guys seen that. So that's why there's two on the handstand walks. One of them will help. We can't have another member of the team helping out with that PVC pipe. It will just be those two, that pair, to help out. Any other questions before I do move on to workout 3, aka the beast?
I had one. If when another pair is working, are we allowed to go out and like reset our equipment or anything?
No.
No. Okay.
No. Once you'll be behind the sideline. The only people allowed out of the sideline will be the people working.
Okay.
Evan, what equipment was you worried about being reset? I'm just curious.
The machines, or if the dumbbell rolls away, or.
Okay. The machines will be reset for you by the judges, and the dumbbells, we won't have an issue with those. They're the hexagon dumbbells. They're not going to roll nowhere.
Okay.
But thank you for your question, Evan. All right. So workout 3, the beast. And again, I'll give M4G a shout out for this. They were the masterminds behind the majority of this workout. All right. So I'll go through each part, and then I'll take questions after each part. So minutes. Let me just talk about the time on the clock. So unfortunately, the big scoreboard clock down at Park Tudor, it doesn't allow us to put like a 14-minute clock up and then your 16-minute transition. It doesn't allow us that. So that clock will be running all the way up, right the way up to whatever it runs up to. The gym clock that we will be bringing, it'll be on a speaker system. That does have the ability to do that. So when we're doing that, and this is more pertinent and more worryingly, excuse me, when we get that 6-minute transition, it's not a lot of time. So that's when we're expecting you guys to move from part A to part B under your own steam and be ready to go, all set up. And that does involve the equipment setting up for yourselves because you'll be using different weights. So I'll be giving regular shouts out on the mic. The clock I've got will be on a speaker system. So we'll do everything we possibly can. All the judges will have stopwatches so we can give you regular updates. Yeah, you've got 5 minutes left. You've got 4 minutes left. So we'll try and count you down as best we can to keep the momentum going, keep you moving. Initially, this was 2 minutes, but we changed it to 6 because it would have been almost impossible. All right, so part A is all running essentially. So you'll be at different points on the track. Acts like a relay. This will be like a relay. You will have batons. That is my accent, sorry. You'll have batons. So a male and female, you will run 400 meters. When you get back in, you'll hand the baton to, again, male, female, depending which team you're in or which sex you are. They'll do 800 meters. Next pair will do 400. Next pair will do 8. Next pair will do 4. Males, females score separately. Females do not have to wait for males and vice versa. So males and females are working independently in their team for this workout. There was a 14-minute time cap for this. If at any point the baton gets dropped, you expect it to run back and get it, or jog back and get it before you start running or continue running, should I say. What I do ask is when the athletes are running the 800 meters, we just move to the sides of the track if we're not running, all right, just to get out of the way of those guys. And again, my judges will manage that. That is that for that. It's super straightforward. Any questions at all on part A? Nothing just yet. If anything comes up, please type it in the chat. I can answer it as best I can. I'm gonna shoot through that. All right. So 20 to 34. So think of yourself going through this sort of time domain. So 0 to 14. No, the flutter will be covered at the end, Angie. It's no surprise it is the worm, or worms, should I say. So once you've gone from part A, you've got that 14 minutes to complete part A. The truth being, some of you will get done maybe in about 12, 13 minutes, depending on how quick you are. So you'll have even more rest time. Everybody will then start off on minute 20 on the clock on this part here. So you're going to be on opposite sides of the football field. So we're working again across widthways. So males will be one side, females will be the opposite side. Females will be starting off near the stands. Males will be starting off furthest away from the stands. All right. On 3, 2, 1, go. A male and a female will pick up the jump rope, and they can have the jump ropes in their hand if they want to. Well, they'll do 80 single unders. So once they complete their reps, they'll then move forward to the next bit, which I'll cover in a second. All right. Then the other athlete, another male, another female, is then doing 80 dubs. And they just work their way through that jump rope segment. Key thing, once they get done with their reps, they then move forward to the machines and the other exercises. All right. And they can start. Once they've done the reps, they can start. They don't have to wait for the team to join them. All right. So the first person across, once they've done the single unders, they're probably going to go onto the machines, right? Because they can't do synchro on their own. So they'll be chipping away. Ladies, you'll be chipping away 64 calories on the bike. Gentlemen will be chipping away 80 calories on a ski erg. Once the other person comes across, you can then leave the machines if you want to and start chipping away at the exercises, or you can stay on the machines, float your way through. This is all strategy based. This is entirely up to you. We're not dictating what you do, other than reps and weight, of course. So 80 cals for gentlemen on a ski is what we need to accumulate. 80 synchronized alternating dumbbell snatches with a 50-pound dumbbell, again, is what we need to accumulate with the gentlemen. Ladies, 64 calories on that bike, and 80 synchro reverse sandbag and kettlebell lunges. Sandbag is to be held in the back rack position. It's a 40-pound sandbag. And kettlebell is to be held in a goblet position in front of the body. And that is a 35-pound kettlebell. Once you complete your exercises, you then move to the middle of the field, sorry, and then there'll be the boxes there. So once males and females are complete and in, you have to both complete the machines and the exercise you're doing alongside the machines before you can start what's in green. We will then do 5 sets of 10 synchro burpee box jump overs. And this is male-female pairs. And you have to complete a round of 10 as a pair before the next pair go. Once you are done, so if I'm with Tammy and her and I get through it, once we do our 10 burpee box jump overs, I can then go start chipping away on the bike. Tammy can go start chipping away at the ski. Again, this works in a very similar format to the jump rope element. All right, so once we get through that, the next element will be 80 calories on the bike for gentlemen, 80 synchro reverse sandbag and kettlebell lunges, and 80-pound sandbag for men. So 80-pound sandbag and 53-pound kettlebell. Ladies, you will chip away at 64 calories on a ski, 80 synchronized alternating dumbbell snatches with a 35-pound dumbbell. Once whoever gets done, once you are done, you're done. It is ladies and is a male and female score in this. All right. Again, 14-minute time count. Any questions? Oh. Is there a separate bike ski station for? No, you're working your way across the track, and you're going to, once you hit the middle, you're going to go the opposite directions. So you'll finish on the opposite side of the track to what you started. Hopefully that answers that question. Does that answer? Oh, that's a very good question, Kevin. I was actually figuring this out last night. I'll answer Kevin. I'll answer you in a second on that one. Okay, I'll answer Kevin right now. So the way the judges are going to work, Kevin, for this, I was going to mention at the end, but judges are going to play a key part. I need all the judges to be present all day. That's why I'm trying to look after them with rests and lunch breaks and all that sort of stuff. So we're going to have 18 judges will meet you on part A. Maybe less now because the numbers have reduced a little bit in terms of the team numbers. So you'll have 2 judges that will be on part A with you. Those 2 judges will guide you over to part B. I know you'll know where you're going, but I just wanted to guide you. I wanted you to build that rapport with your 2 judges. On part B, the part that's on the screen right now, there's going to be 4 judges already out there. They're going to stay on part B the whole time. And there'll be 2 judges for males, 2 judges for females. And like I said, they'll stay on part B. And once you move on to part C, you will pick up the same 2 judges you started with on part A, or they will pick you up, should I say, and they'll guide you to where you need to go. Again, we're trying to keep an element of control with the judges. And again, this will be covered in huge detail on the day. Does every male-female pair have to complete one of the 5 sets of synchro burpee? Yes, each pair must complete 1 set of 10 burpee box jump overs. And no, they cannot be split between 2 or 3 pairs. All right. So again, it is a lot. There's a lot of strategy involved in this workout. A lot of strategy. Any other questions on part B? Just while I'm floating through. I'll go through the standards in a second. Nope. Sweet. What I would say, just on the jump rope, for those people who've been in competitions before and all that sort of stuff, when we're counting, and I'm not saying we count wrong, but the judge may count wrong, or somebody may count wrong. We may not agree, especially when it comes to double unders. All right. So as you get into what you believe is 80 on the double unders, crossovers in particular, maybe the single unders too, just confirm with a judge, or get your judge to call out to you when you're in your last 10. Last thing I want is people dropping the rope down, thinking they've done 80 and the judge thinks you've got 2 left. So either wait for the judge to give you a thumbs up or acknowledge that you've done your reps in some way before you move on. Don't assume you've done the reps, please. That's always been a bone of contention when I have held competitions or been in competitions previously. Athletes can have their rope in their hand waiting to go. Okay, so we don't expect you to have it on the floor and once you go, you go. We're not expecting that. Machines must have the required amount of calories on them prior to you moving. So once you think you've got your calories on 79, don't suddenly hop off the bike or hop off the ski erg and let it roll over, because you will not be released until the judges acknowledged there was the correct amount of calories on that machine. Synchro dumbbell snatches, both heads of the dumbbell has to touch the floor at the same time. That's the first part of the synchro. And then we're looking at the full extension at the top. All right, so synchro starts at the bottom and is finished at the top. Okay, and they have to be alternating. Synchro sandbag and kettlebell reverse lunges. Synchro is the knee on the floor at the same time, and then a full extension at the top. And again, that's to try and ensure we have control over those lunges, because lunges, again, has been a bone of contention previously when it comes from a standards and judging point of view. And also, you are not allowed to push off your knee with your spare hand. If you had a spare hand, if you're holding the sandbag with one hand, for example, you're not allowed to push off your knee. Synchro burpee box jump overs. For this, we just try to keep this simple and safe, to be honest, because we're all going to be going really, really quick. So the synchro will be the chest on the floor. You don't have to be on the box at the same time. All right, it's just the initial part of that rep, the start of each rep, that chest to the floor just before of the burpee. That is your synchro part, which the judge will be looking at. That should allow people to get back into sync if they lose timing, whatever. Okay, without people still on a box or waiting till the other person jumps. Again, that's just from a safety point of view, more importantly. Like I said earlier on, each pair must complete a set of 10 reps on the burpee box jump overs prior to the next pair starting. Again, same as earlier on, dropping the dumbbells will incur a 30-second stand in place penalty. All right. Any questions? Fire them out.
Yes, I have a question about the 30-second stand in place. So, but is that for the entire team or just the team that dropped the dumbbells? Because you could have somebody doing the machine and the dumbbells. You have the team doing that at the same time. So is the whole team stopping for 30 seconds?
It is that particular movement. So in this case, it would be the snatches. So on those snatches, nobody will be doing any more snatches. The snatches part of it will stop.
Okay.
That's the only part that will stop. It would be almost impossible to control any other way, I think. Any other questions? Good question, Mike. Thank you. All right, sweet. All right. You guys are letting me off too easy tonight. All right, workout 3, the beast, part C. So this is your 40 to 54 minutes marker. Again, I had a couple of questions on this over the weekend, so hopefully I'll be able to answer them to you right now. So initially, when we wrote this workout, there was no options. You had to lift the heaviest set of weights. Oh, hang on, let's go back a little bit. Renee, sorry, our pair is able to move along after they complete their setup. No, Renee, I think I'm saying your name right. If I'm not, I'm sorry. Once a pair completes their 10 burpee box jump overs, they can then start working on the machine. So they don't have to wait. It's the same. It's a waterfall, exactly the same as it is with the jump rope. Hopefully, it answers your question. Yeah. So initially, this was the heavy lift. There was no options, and then when we had some feedback from a number of gyms saying we had people not feeling valued, thinking they couldn't contribute because some of these weights were too heavy. All right, so Tristan and I, if you don't know Tristan is from M4G. Him and I got our heads together and we come up with this solution. And hopefully this is a viable and really good workable solution. Yes, and Renee, I'll take that. I'm saying your name correct. All right, so what it is, ladies, start off on part 1 of part C first, and that is the deadlifts, back squats, and bench press. You get to choose option 1 or option 2. If you choose option 2, you do less reps because that is the heavier weight. What you will notice, the bench press does not change in either option because that would not be fair. All right, so that's what that's our level setter, is that bench press. So if you choose option 2, you will do 50 deadlifts at 185. You'll do 50 back squats at 155. Then in the remaining time, you'll complete as many bench press as you possibly can. That is your score. If you choose option 1, you will do 70 reps at 155, 70 at 125, deadlifts at 155, 70 reps of back squat at 125. And again, you'll do as many bench press at 105 as you possibly can. And this worked out really well. I know M4G tested it for us and we also tested it. It worked really well. So that is, and it's a 7-minute AMRAP. All right. You're expected to manage your time yourselves. We will do as best we can to manage it for you. But on 7 minutes, we are switching. Again, this is purely strategy based. Well, not purely, but a lot of strategy involved here. Males, when we're at this point here, males can be setting up their barbell for the deadlifts and back squats. They can have it set up at whatever weight they choose. They can do that concurrently, as well as doing the clusters and the sandbag cleans, which I'll talk about in a second. So there's a lot of moving parts, a lot of concurrent activity can happen here. It's the only way this works. When we hit that 7 minutes, sorry, let me go back. So as the ladies are doing that, gentlemen, you're doing part 2, which is essentially your part 1. It is going to be 50 axle bar clusters. It is not a heavy weight. It's 110 pounds for gentlemen, 70 pounds for ladies. And an axle bar it can be a power clean or a squat clean. It's going to come from the floor every single time. And then you're into a thruster. All right. It's always best to squat clean clusters because you're saving that one extra movement from a power clean. If you do power clean it, you then have to do a front squat down and then come out of that front squat into that, finish off that thruster into that press. Again, 110, 70. I know we've got the no dropping dumbbells on the field. This will not be on the field. This will be at the side. We will have horse mats, so the weights can be dropped here. Okay. And this can be done. You accumulate 50 axle bar clusters, sorry, and in the remaining time, it is going to be heavy sandbag cleans. 150-pound sandbag for men, and these are the Rogue sandbags. If you got them in your gym, it's the Rogue circular or sphere-shaped sandbags. 150 for men, 100-pound for ladies, and it has to come from the floor each time. Has to go over the shoulder. You don't have to alternate shoulders. It goes over the shoulder and drops behind you. Again, that is your score. As we're approaching that 7-minute marker, your judge may or may not let you know about time. They don't have to. It is down to you to manage your time. We then transition. Males will move on to the deadlift and back squats. Ladies will move on to the axle bar clusters and the sandbag cleans. Any reps outside of their time domain are no reps. All right, so you must get, ladies, you must complete your last bench press before the 7-minute marker. Gentlemen, you must complete that sandbag clean before the 7-minute marker. All right, and there is no transition, like I alluded to. So you're expected to go straight into it. Males, you go straight into whatever option you chose, and you'll start chipping away at your deadlifts, start chipping away your back squats, and then finishing off with max bench press at 165. Ladies, you'll have the axle bar can get set up because the males are not using it at this point. So this should already be set up for you because they're using the sandbag, and you will do 50 axle clusters, 70 pounds, and then you will do max sandbag cleans at 100 pounds. My advice for this, when we tested this, we had some gentlemen and some ladies that couldn't lift those sandbags. So we had those do the majority of the clusters. And then we kept the guys who could do the sandbags relatively fresh for that sandbag cleans. We use those mostly for changing weights and stuff like that. Got a question from Evan. Sandbags have to drop behind, or we control that drop. Sandbags have to go over the shoulder, Evan. They have to be dropped. Any questions before I go through some other stuff?
Yeah, I'm sorry. So once for the max effort bench press and the sandbag cleans, can they start those before the 50 axle clusters are done? So the
no.
One athlete's got 5 left. The last 5 left. Can they start those
no.
sandbag cleans? No. Okay.
No, you cannot. You must complete the axle bar clusters. Good question. Axle bar clusters is the buy-in.
Okay, perfect.
Let me just get some other questions. For part B, will we be jump roping on horse mats? No, part B. No, you will not. You'll be jump roping on the side of the track. We tested it. There's no issues. I was double undering and crossovering, and there was no issues with it. I know we had some concerns, Becca. Really good question. We had some concerns with that. There was no issues when we tested this down at Park Tudor. You are excited to bring your own jump ropes, though. Do the judges stay with agenda as they transition to the next part, or stay on part 1 or part 2? You will stay on your part. Is that Olivia? You will stay on your part. That may change on the day, and I'll let my head judges will decide that. But my plan initially is for you guys to stay. If you're judging the bench press and stuff like that, you will stay on that. And same for people judging the clusters and the sandbag cleans. All right, a couple of things I want to point out. Deadlifts, I want to avoid any bouncing on the deadlifts. We're going to be on a very, the ground is not as even as our gyms. So to prevent injuries, bouncing is a big no-no, and we'll come down on that pretty hard. So please, no bouncing, and no bouncing side to side as well. I know people differentiate that. No bouncing side to side, so one plate touching before the other and coming up. A rep is complete when full, this is deadlift of course, a rep is complete when full hip and knee extension is met. I don't expect people to be leaning back, all right? We will just be looking towards your knees and hips, all right? Shoulders do have to break that vertical plane then, all right? You don't have to lean back. Back squats, again, we're looking from a safety point of view, because I know some people could probably clean 225 on their back or whatever the weight may be and start back squatting. That's a no-go, all right? All back squats are to be taken from the yoke. All right, so before we start, let's place on the yoke and then do your back squats, please. And we're looking at hips lower than the knees. Again, reps are complete when the full hip and knee extension is met. I just seen a question coming quickly. Yes, so Becca, there will be 1 bar and 1 set of plates for males and 1 bar and 1 set of plates for females. You will be expected to lower the J-hooks and you will be expected to move the bench in place. You're going to be like a pit team. That's an idea behind this. A lot of strategy, a lot of communication. Hopefully that answers your question. Okay, bench press. We're going to start. So you're going to lift. So I got 2 seconds. Oh, no, that's fine. So you're going to lift that bar from the J-hooks and you're going to reach full extension before you complete a rep. We're not going to lift and drop it to the chest. Full extension with the arms on a bench press. Then you will lower the bar down. So the start position is full extension, please. Shoulders, hips, and head to remain in contact with the bench at all times. All right, again, this is from a safety perspective. And ideally, we want feet planted on the floor throughout. However, I do know that is not possible for some people, but our aspiration is to get as many people as we can with their feet on the floor. If they're on the bench, it is what it is, okay? Because I know some people have mobility issues or other reasons or medical issues, okay? So if they end up on the bench, they end up on the bench. But we would like, where possible, feet to be on the floor. And again, that's a safety and form point of view, more importantly. Bar must touch the chest and then arms fully extend to complete that rep. I know there's, especially the bros, there's a lot of bro reps out there. We'll be watching for those, all right? We're not having bro reps. Axle bar clusters. Starts from the floor. You can either power clean it or squat clean it. If you squat clean it, that does count as the front squat part of the thruster. So you're just going to push out of that clean into the press. All right. If you power clean it, you are expected then to do the thruster. Again, that is all there. We're looking, the weight is not heavy. I know a couple of years ago, there was some issues around the heavy thruster we did, and jerks were permitted. This should never have been the case, in my opinion. All right, jerks are not permitted. It is one smooth move from the bottom of that squat all the way and finishing into that press. No jerks. It's not heavy enough to do a jerk anyway. If an athlete is stuck during a squat, yes, that is, yeah, absolutely, Kevin. I was going to mention that. Thank you. Really good question. If an athlete is stuck on a squat, then the team can lift them, help them, assist them out of that squat position, but it will be count as a no rep. All right. Ideally, we want to look at bailing that, but I get why you would do that, Kevin, because the weight's pretty heavy. Good. Thank you, Kevin. Okay. Jerks are not permitted on those axle bar clusters. Sandbag clean. Sandbag starts on the floor. It is then moved onto the shoulder. It doesn't need to touch the shoulder. If you're strong enough to throw 150 over there or 100 without it touching the shoulder, then hey, you're better than me. I can't do it. Athletes are encouraged to set up as much equipment as possible ahead of moving on to that part of the workout. So again, this is where that concurrent activity, what I talked about earlier on, this is where I'm looking at maybe the person doing the sandbag cleans or the person you're saving to the bench. They can then start setting other stuff up whilst they're technically resting. And like I said earlier on, no transition time between AMRAPs. Your responsibility to keep your eye on the clock. Reps outside your time domain do not count. All right, before I go into the floater, any questions? There's a lot to get through right there, and we're at 56 minutes. Wow. All right, if there's any questions, please feel free to type them in the chat, and I'll do my best. All right, the floater, there's no video being pushed out about this. And once again, I want to apologize quickly. I know there's been some confusion with the videos. We changed the color standards after we videoed them. We didn't have enough people, so sometimes there was no male females on the video. So my apologies for any confusion those videos may or may not have caused. Again, that's why we pushed the slide deck out to answer any questions. All right, so please accept my apologies for that. All right, it is the worm. It is a 4-person worm. You will see the construct of the worm in the top right-hand corner. 100-pound sandbags. You got 6-pound dividers, and then a 7-pound sandbag. Whilst you're having a look at that and digesting it, I got a question from Chris. Crossover jump rope has to be forward. Can it be backwards? That's a really good question, Chris. I have no problem with it being forwards or backwards. All right. So the way this is going to work, again, you're going to be on the side. Oh, I got you, buddy. You're going to be on the side of the track. And you're going to be working. This is going to be nearest the Wheeler Mission reception tent. This is where this is all going to take place. It's going to be open all day. You'll have the 2 worms down there. And there's going to be a 30-minute window for each team to get through this. And the workout, can't remember, I think it's a 15-minute time cap. So you'll have 15 minutes to practice if you need to practice. I'll talk about practice in a second, prior to you actually starting. So you're going to split down into 2 5-person teams. In each team, there must be 2 males, 2 females for obvious reasons, i.e. the setup of the worm. All right, and then you have a spare athlete for each team. So I'm just going to call them Team 1, Team 2, just to make it easier. So Team 1 will run forward. All right, this is all 5 athletes. 5 athletes will run forward. They'll then pick up the worm, and they'll do 10 worm presses. So it's a push press over the shoulder, over the head, sorry, over the head. All right, each time. We're trying to avoid any ducking under the worm. That's all in the standards we'll cover in a second. All right, we'll do 10 rotations or 10 lifts over the heads. After that, you're going to lunge 20 yards with that worm on your shoulder. All right. Then the worm can go down. It can be dropped because it's not going to damage the field. All right. And then you will do 30 synchro worm jump overs. This is a 2-footed takeoff, 2-footed landing, no step overs. And then you will sprint back to the start. The 5th athlete can jump in any part you want to switch in. However, we cannot have any more than 4 people on the worm. All right. And if you end up with a male lifting the female part of the worm, that's absolutely fine too. I don't recommend putting a female part of the male part of the worm, but if you want to, you absolutely can. Just 4 athletes on the worm. Once you sprint back to the start, Team 2 will run forward. They'll basically do it in reverse. They'll do the 30 synchro worm jumps. Again, 2-footed takeoff, 2-foot landing. They're then going to pick up the worm. They'll do 20-yard lunges with that worm on the shoulder. They'll then do 10 worm presses. They'll then drop the worm after the 10 worm presses and then sprint to the end. Time stops when all 10 athletes are back behind the line. Any questions? Kevin, that's ultimately down to the teams. You're probably not going to sub somebody in on the presses. And if you do sub somebody in on the presses, you will definitely have to stop moving. If you do sub somebody on the lunges, it will be stood up out of that lunge. I'm just thinking from a strategy point of view or a mechanics point of view. And if it's on the burpee jump overs, it's not burpee jump overs, the worm synchro jump overs, then you all need to be on the same side of the rope. God, sorry. It's been a long day. The same side of the worm, and then you all have to jump at the same time. So it would probably be best if you did stop. I assume an athlete cannot compete in both teams. You assume correctly, Lydia. It is 5 distinct teams. All 10 athletes must participate. What part of the jump is synchro? It will be basically the start of the jump. Also, you'll normally have a leader at this point, Natalie. So on 3, 2, 1 jump, I expect all athletes to jump over, and we can't touch the worm. Any other? Go back a little bit, sorry. Any other questions? Cool. One thing that's not on here as well, the floater, so that your time on the floater is also your tiebreaker for the day. All right. So if we were to get any tie for any position, we resort straight to this time. And then we get it. That Chandler, the slideshow's already been posted by Tammy, by the Wheeler Mission team. But if you don't have it, my email will be on the next slide. Please email me. I'll get you access to it. No problem. That's the same for anyone. If you don't get access to this, email me and I'll get access first thing in the morning for you, or maybe even tonight. Depends what time you email me. All right. So insert sort of summary. The aim of the deck, hopefully, the aim of this meeting was to clarify the workouts and standards. You will be given a demonstration of the majority of the workouts on the day. I'll come back to you in a second, Becca. We will happily provide access free of charge. We don't expect, no, Becca, you're not, it's all good. I'd rather you ask questions and me just talk to myself, to be honest. So CrossFit HSE, we will happily provide access to our worms free of charge. Anytime you want it, you just hit me up on that email on there. Come on in. I don't care what time of night it is. I don't care what time of day it is. You can come on in. That's the same with any of the equipment we're using on the day. If you don't have sandbags, again, come and see me. You can use all our equipment completely free anytime you want. I will also be there to help talk you through any of these workouts as well. So we're massively here to make sure it's a great day for you as athletes. I know the main effort is to raise as much money as we possibly can, but also it is to make sure you have a fantastic experience. So we'll help it as best we can. And again, there's my email, crossfithhsc@gmail.com. You can hit us on hit us up on any of the social medias as well at crossfithhsc.com or crossfithhsc. We will answer. We're pretty responsive, pretty damn quick. If anybody has any questions outside of what we've asked tonight, again, just feel free. Messages on Facebook, Instagram, or that email, and I will answer as best I can. Okay, let me just answer this question. For the worm jump, can they face the worm or jump side to side? All athletes need to jump the same direction in terms of they need to jump over left to right, it doesn't matter which way they jump it. They have to jump at the same time and be on the same side of the worm. They don't have to be facing the worm, or they don't have to be side on. Any other questions? Oh, I think I missed one from Becca. Is 20-yard lunging to get the entire worm? Yes, it is, to get the entire worm over the 20-yard line. Or the marker, should I say, not line. Any other questions? Yes, you can, Angie, you can face the worm. You can do it. You can do whichever way you want, as long as you jump as a team. You jump the rope. Guys, keep saying rope. I'm sorry. You jump the worm at the same time from the same side of the worm. All right.
So Andy, what you just went through, the slide deck is on strengthinourstreets.com. If you click on 2024 workouts, I think it's called workout descriptions. So you can find it there, and you can find it at on the bio on our social media page too.
Sammy, is this a quick question? Sammy, is this slide deck? Is it? Did you download the slide deck, or is it the link to the slide deck?
It's a link. Okay,
sweet. Because I know I did a couple of changes on it. I will by midday tomorrow, and I promise it'll be done by midday tomorrow. I owe you the height of the yoke. I will add that to the slide deck under that workout. I'll have that on there. I'll measure it first thing in the morning. I'll get it on there as soon as I possibly can. Any final questions? I know we're at 8:06. I really appreciate everyone's time tonight. Also, I appreciate all your participation in these questions. It's been really helpful, and I'm sure other people are asking that exact same question. Just didn't ask it. All right, you guys let me off the hook. Big stuff. All right, that is it from me, guys. I really, again, I appreciate you all being here, taking time out of your evening. I know we're all busy people. If you have any questions, reach out to us. If you've got any people that want to jump on at the other call, we've got another call tomorrow at noon, which Coach Jennifer, one of the head judges, she's going to lead that call. I will not be on that call due to work reasons. You want to book my gym, to use any of the equipment, hit me up. We're here to help you guys, and we want to make sure you have the best experience possible. And I assure you that. And then my final plea to you all, 2 pleas. Let's raise as much money as we possibly can. We've still got time to raise money. Let's push it out there. Let's get as much money raised as we can. Let's try and break the record, which I don't know what the record is. Tammy, what's the record?
I think it was 300,000.
We got this. We got this. All right, let's try and kill that 300 grand. On the day itself, and I forgot to mention this actually, on the day itself, me, my team, we're all gonna have red t-shirts on. We'll have our CrossFit HSE logo here, and we'll have event officials on the back of our shirts. Any problems on the day, please come straight to one of, there'll be like 5 or 6 of us. Come straight to us. We'll answer any questions you got. Please don't argue with the judges. I know you won't. We've never had that happen before. So please don't argue with the judges. They're all doing a great job. They're all volunteers, and this would not happen without those guys. Any issues you've got, any complaints, anything you don't like, from a programming perspective, take that out on me. I'll be in the middle of the field with a mic. I'll put you on a microphone. We can talk through it. Anything judge-wise related, you'll see Coach Jennifer, Coach Jake. They will be your point of contact, and they'll be pretty visible on the day. Again, I just hope everyone has a great day. Feedback forms, once they go out, please give honest feedback on it. What you liked, what you didn't like. Any suggestions are always welcome. We build these events based on your feedback and suggestions. All right, enough of a sales pitch for me. I should be a salesman. All right, Tammy, anything else? Tammy, are we done?
No, we'll just keep watching your email and our social media pages for all the information for event day, and we have a virtual goodie bag that's going to go out for you guys on Monday. So otherwise, we'll see you guys on the 21st.
Yeah. Hey, Tammy, very quickly, just you and I. Could you add me to that email?
Yes.
Add the gym to that email. We don't get these emails, so.
Well, your team captains do.
Yeah, I'd just like to get them as well, if possible, please.
I mean, all of your team should get them.
Yeah.
If you're signed up, you get it.
They don't share.
Yes.
Thank you.
Shame on them. Yes,
I
I
know.
will make sure I forward those to you.
No, thank you. I appreciate it.
All right.
All right. Thanks,
Bye-bye.
everyone.
Thank you.